This video is brought to you by CuriosityStream. Hey everyone, ready for the worst list? Those just joining us, I'm Todd in the Shadows, and I'm going to review all the bad songs of the year for you. Every single one of them in a nice numbered list. Because that's what I do, right? Like every year, I sit in the shadows for some reason and I talk trash about bad songs. Yeah, I do, but I've been doing it a long time, and people tell me I'm not nearly as negative as I used to be. Yeah, I know, I've mellowed out. So much so, in fact, that I've thought about ending the annual worst list several times. Why you gotta be so mean? Don't we all need a little more positivity? Let me tell you something I saw happen this year. It was the Grammys. The Grammys happened. And I watched like always, and during it, I also watched Rolling Stone live tweet the ceremony in the same way a 12-year-old girl would. It was off-putting. And the guy running the account apparently is the same guy I used to read really great negative reviews from, and I'm told that all he writes now is stuff like, OMG, Slay, go off, BTS, I am here for it. I am not okay. Is this all we're here for as critics? To shower the extremely famous with praise? It was appalling. So you know what? I haven't changed. I am still the same big, stupid, angry YouTube man I was when I started, and I'm not sorry. Hater, proud, forever. And just a program note, I will be using a more expansive definition of hit song than I have in the past. I always restricted it to Billboard's year-end 100, but it's full of Christmas songs and songs from last year. Other chart watchers compiled better, longer lists that will define what a hit is for me. And with a wider pool of songs to pick from, I found some real stinkers. So let's do this. We're counting down
A, B, C, D,
the top 10 worst hit songs of 2022.
See again, everybody but your dog, you can all fuck off.
Number 10. So here's a little tip of the trade. It's actually really bad to start off a list with controversy. You want to hook them in first and save your controversial picks for later. So what I'm about to do now is possibly very risky. Here we go.
Let's go. This is our home. We've got everything.
Shortly before the year started, there was a cartoon movie that spent like a day and a half in theaters before limping to Disney+. It was called Encanto, and it seemed doomed to be forgotten. But with a shocking lack of any new hits for a good 4 or 5 months, the soundtrack from composer Lin-Manuel Miranda ended up dominating pop music for the first half of the year. In fact, it even launched one of the most off-the-wall #1 hits in history.
We don't talk about Bruno, no.
That song is, I guess it's fine. Couldn't see the big deal about it, but I didn't put it on this list. I'd probably get less pushback for that than what I'm about to do.
I'm totally not nervous.
Your eyes doing the thing.
I'm the strong one. I'm not nervous.
Sorry. It's just, I can't deal with Lin-Manuel anymore.
But under the surface, I feel berserk as a tightrope walker in a 3-ring circus. Under the surface.
Okay, I saw a lot of people, especially the ones that come from immigrant or refugee families like in the movie, say that they see themselves in this song and it speaks to their own struggles with familial pressure. Like, some people like this song a lot, and I understand that. Like, trust me, I know pressure. There's a little counter by my name that measures my self-worth, so I get it. If anything, that makes me like this song even less. I'm mad that we wasted such a hashtag relatable topic on Lin-Manuel doing his forced overwritten shtick yet again. Like, I can hear him biting his lip all over this. And yes, I did like Hamilton. But Lin-Manuel's rap flow is so labored and nerdy that it only really works in a mega dork-ass project like Hamilton.
Madison, you mad as a Hattison, take your medicine.
Oh my god, he's doing the Federalist Papers like they're battle raps. So cool! I know exactly what part of my brain lights up for this, and I am not proud of it. And out of that context, I find him increasingly charmless. I hated In the Heights. I hated looking at him in Mary Poppins too. And here with a faux reggaeton beat under him, his voice as a writer becomes so painful and corny.
I move mountains, I move churches.
You move churches? Why?
Under the surface, I had my nerves and it worsens. I worry something is gonna hurt us.
Under the surface, murders of burglars hurt us with a surplus of berserkers. It just drives me up the wall.
Under the surface, was Hercules ever like, yo, I don't wanna fight Cerberus?
No, Lin-Manuel. Hercules was never like, yo, I don't wanna fight Cerberus. Homie, my homeboys, word.
Keeps growing.
It doesn't help that they gave it to a voice actress who can't sing, or at least not while doing that character. Under the surface. And I don't even like it in the context of the movie. This shit with Louisa comes out of nowhere. That movie's a mess. Like, I don't get how this soundtrack was so much bigger than Moana's. That's a good soundtrack. You let Miranda have one verse of patter. One. That's it.
Pressure like a grip, grip, grip.
Sorry, Disney people. Billie Eilish wrote a couple Disney songs this year. Why weren't those bigger?
Cracks, no breaks, no mistakes, no pressure.
A, B, C, D, E, F, U, H.
Number 9. One pattern of mine I've noticed is that always in one of the bottom spots there's a song that probably wouldn't have been there if overplay didn't force me to notice how empty it is. The Heat Waves spot. This year that entry comes in at number 9, and it belongs to the biggest new superstar of music.
Who's Jack Harlow? Who's Jack Harlow? I have no idea.
Don't worry, you don't really need to know.
I've been throw up the sex in
This was a bad year for sampling. Like, an abysmal year. One guy sampled the goddamn Rickroll.
Never take a L no more. Never take a damn thing slow.
And it was actually one of the better ones. So First Class is not high on the list simply because it samples a song I hadn't thought of in a while and I like the way they used it.
and I can put you in.
Glamorous by Fergie, great song. But man, we sure whiffed on Jack Harlow, huh? Because of various structural issues, white rappers are always a tiny bit overrated, but Jack was at least enjoyable in his first couple appearances. But when he finally dropped his first album, it became clear he wasn't ready for the pros. Or even ready to watch the pros without taking a stray. The song starts off with one half-clever bit,
I've been throw up the sex in
and then he immediately runs out of ideas and just lets it sit there with a big, uh-huh. Yep. And after that, the song just falls apart.
Why do y'all sleep on me? I need reasons.
Jack Harlow was fun as a relaxed, effortlessly self-confident bro. But as a guy trying to sell you on the prospect of dating Jack Harlow, he's suddenly just way out of his depth.
Keep dreaming. Pineapple juice, I give a sweet semen. I know what they like.
See, I like that he seems to hesitate here.
Sweet
Like he's trying to find a way out of this lyric and he can't think of one.
Trying to come the same day as Jack rethinking. You don't need to give a shit.
That's funny because Bad Bunny did drop the same week as Jack Harlow and then ate his lunch all year.
They say you a superstar now, damn. I guess I am. You might be the man, well that's unless I am. Okay, I'll confess I am. Go ahead and get undressed, I am.
You might be the man, unless I am. Oh ho, I am clever. In fact, I am the man, and I'm naked. This verse is trash. I don't know, I guess it's a fitting tribute to Fergie that she once again gets to sing a great hook with some guy spitting whack-ass lyrics over top of it. Mostly, this is a classic number 9 on the worst list. Mildly pleasant the first time you hear it, and a giant waste of time by the end of the year. Like, I realize this was a big hit, but it was one of those big hits that doesn't lead to any affection for the singer. It may have actually done more damage than it helped. Nope, sorry, Jack. I think I have to throw up the L for this.
A, B, C, D, E, F, U, H.
Number 8.
What if this place is dangerous? What if...
Stop it! Oh, not everyone gets this opportunity. And if you keep
At some point this year, the Harry Styles experience took a real sour turn for me. I heard a couple of people say the same thing. Some people have been saying it for years. I didn't agree. I liked his music well enough. I don't know. The bigger he gets, the more I'm not clear what the point of all this is. What he offers the world except a few glittery outfits and being reminiscent of better artists. All the don't worry darling crap didn't help. Neither did this.
Green eyes, fried rice, I could cook an egg on you.
What is with Harry Styles and his disgusting fish videos? Why is that his thing? Anyway, this is another one that wouldn't have necessarily made the list if I didn't have to hear it a whole bunch of times. Eventually, the colossal hollowness of it really wore on me. It wasn't a lead-off single, but it was the album opener, so I think I can make a case for it as a classic I'm Back Bitch single. A big, empty song about absolutely nothing except how cool Harry Styles thinks he is. It's also abysmally produced. The horns sound awful. I've said in the past that Harry Styles reminds me of Peter Gabriel at his most accessible. This one reminds me more of Sting at his fake funkiest. Just a very middle-aged white guy imitation of funk and jazz with its bada-bobs and Scooby-Doo-bops. I guess it's a dance song, but the only dance I can imagine anyone doing to it is the Bully Maguire. Also, it's terrible music for a sushi restaurant? Sushi restaurant music is supposed to be relaxing in Japanese, right? Harry says he knows that, he just thought it made for a fun title, and it might be if he wasn't so on the nose as to actually sing it as part of the lyrics.
Music for a sushi restaurant, music for a sushi restaurant.
I mean, it's like Tom York saying, "This would make good exit music for a film."
If the stars were red above.
I'm not off the bandwagon yet, but I'm worried. As much as Harry is reaching for like the 70s glam cool of David Bowie or even Rod Stewart, he's dangerously closer to becoming Robbie Williams, a smirking load of smugness who turned out much less than the sum of his parts. No, hold on, I got a better analogy. It's Uptown Funk if Michael Bublé wrote it. There. That's the one. That's it.
A, B, C, D, E, F, U, H.
Number 7.
This next song, this song is off the new record. It's called Euthanasia, if you know.
This year, Post Malone released his album 12 Karat Toothache, an album whose goofy, suffering from success-esque title almost hid how bleak it was. Like bleak even for Post Malone.
It's painless. Euthanasia.
You might have missed this album since there was a surprising lack of hype for it, considering he's one of the best-selling active artists. It seemed like his label didn't know what to do with his suicidal depression album, just let the record sink or swim on its own. It was a pretty dark listen, but honestly, it kind of grew on me after a while, which I guess tells you where I've been this year. But for whatever reason, Post Malone could not bring himself to make a whole album full of downers. So right in the middle of it, right as it's really getting going, Malone hands the mic off to someone else.
Oh girl, I like you. I do. I wanna be a friend, go shopping in a Benz.
This song has Post Malone's name on it, and he sings most of it, but you will not convince me that this song does not belong to Doja Cat, the pop star I struggle with more than anyone. She has real skills. She has a unique and recognizable persona. She has made some of the catchiest songs of the last couple years. I don't like her. I'm not sure why. It might be her association with Dr. Luke makes me hold my distance subconsciously, but also Luke's hits or else style has cost her a lot of what made her interesting to begin with. It's funny that her biggest song this year was off the Elvis soundtrack, because I think I can make the case that Dr. Luke is her Colonel Tom Parker. But I've never disliked her either. Not until I heard this. Like, there's nothing wrong with being the go-to person for a hit, but all I can hear on this song is the king of the sad boys trying to force himself to be happy so that his off-putting Euthanasia album doesn't completely end his career, and begging a more active hitmaker to do for him what he can't do for himself anymore. I think it goes without saying that they have no chemistry together. I am almost certain that Doja and Post Malone have never met, that any picture of them together is green screen, and that Doja didn't even know who she was duetting with when she recorded it.
We got the same taste for the finer things. Brand new nigga with the same routine.
I'm sorry, what did you call him?
Wonder what a nigga might do for that.
Yeah. And honestly, I just don't find either of them convincing at all. The subtitle, A Happier Song, might as well be titled, A Happier Song Than Post Malone Has Any Right Recording. I guess this is probably not actually worse than Jack Harlow. I think most people just found it pleasant enough radio filler, but something about its craven commercialism and relentless chipperness was incredibly irritating to me. Instead of a happier song, how about, like, a better song? Number 6.
I could have my Gucci on.
Meghan Trainor's back, everyone. Remember her? She's all about that bass. Welcome back, Meghan.
Bet I made you look. I made you look.
This is probably lower than it should be, but part of me actually admires Meghan Trainor. In a pop scene full of anonymous no-names, Meghan Trainor is a real individual, a one-of-a-kind. You only needed a couple seconds to know who she was and what she was about, and I was honestly kind of sad that she seemed to fade so quickly. That admiration did not extend to actually listening to her music, which I was happy to ignore, along with the rest of the world who realized that this was a pretty failed experiment.
Ooh, tell me what you gonna do?
But Meghan hung in there, and eventually decided that she had been trying too hard to grow and expand her sound, and that she should instead return to her trademark style, a style that I can only call White Lizzo. Which honestly, I should probably stop doing that. That's an insult to white people, really. Like, even a Caucasian version of Lizzo should not be this much of a downgrade.
But even with nothing on, bet I made you look. I made you look, yeah.
God, that's irritating. Like, you compare it to Lizzo and you can immediately tell what's wrong. Lizzo commands, and her retro style hits with more than just nostalgia, compared to Meghan's stiff, antiseptic, plastic Stepfordy version of the early 60s.
Yeah, I look good in my Versace dress.
This sounds like a Christmas Gap commercial. When Lizzo says she's sexy, you know it's true. And when Meghan says it, well, you don't want to say anything. It's great that you feel that way, Meghan.
And once you get a taste, you'll never be the same.
But the very worst thing you can say about Made You Look is that it's redundant. We already did this. I'm amazed that she resisted the urge to call it Still About That Bass. In 2014, Meghan at least had that youthful energy that bought her some excuses.
I could have my Gucci on.
But now Meghan, as a married mom, is exactly the person we always knew she'd become. God bless you, Meghan. You are one of a kind. If only because no one else on earth has so little taste as to try and copy you.
A hoodie on, bet I made you look. Said I made you look.
Boy, I hate it when songs sound like commercials. And before we continue, this video was brought to you by CuriosityStream. You like that Elvis movie this year, right? Well, we've got the weird flip side of that. Dean Reed, an American pop singer who defected to the Soviet Union during the Cold War and became known as Red Elvis. And you can find out more about his story in the movie Red Elvis, the Cold War Cowboy, which you can of course watch on CuriosityStream. Go to curiositystream.com/ToddInTheShadows and you will get an entire year for just $14.79. That's nothing. Not only is that a 26% discount on the regular price, you will also get free access to Nebula, a streaming video platform built for and by independent creators like H-Bomber Guy, Adam Neely, and myself. So you will get all the high-budget premium content you get on CuriosityStream, plus all the independent video creators on Nebula. Once you use the code and get CuriosityStream, you'll get a welcome email from Nebula giving you access, and you'll have access to both services. So sign up now, click the link in the description, and enjoy. There we go. And now, back to the list. Number 5. Before we begin, I want to share with you the most stunningly terrible non-hit I heard this year.
It took a little self-confidence.
It was called You Love You, about the joy of relationships with secure people who don't have all that needy self-loathing.
I'm not saying that we're narcissists.
I don't know, could work. Let's see how it went in practice.
Cause you feel it yourself, and the reason I fell for you is you love you, I love me. That's why this this works perfectly. No, we're not stressed out about our insecurities. 'Cause you
This is a real song. And I am playing it for you as cover for me not liking this artist no matter how positive her messages are.
I'd say, psst. I know Victoria's Secret. Girl, you wouldn't believe.
This is the second body positivity song in a row. I realize that I might seem like I hate things that make women feel good, which is absolutely true. I hate confident women. Nice ankles, ladies. Champion of negging over here.
God, I wish somebody would have told me when I was younger that all bodies aren't the same.
This is Jax, formerly a contestant on American Idol, currently a very popular song parodist on TikTok, and as of this year, a pop hitmaker with her first charting single, Victoria's Secret, about how Victoria is actually an old man making you insecure with his hot models and underwear.
I know Victoria's Secret. She was made up by a dude.
Yeah, I know this is not for me, but this entire genre of female empowerment has always struck me as very cheap. And this is not me defending Victoria's Secret or unrealistic beauty standards or anything. Like, I remember once as a teenager, I read Beyonce say her boobs weren't big enough. And it's like, okay, I'm a 19-year-old idiot and even I can tell this is a problem. But that's the issue, right? We all know this already. I've absorbed a brain-rotting amount of social media, and I recognize a certain brand of influencer pandering that I've truly come to loathe. Donald Trump deserves to be in jail. Retweet if you agree. I do agree. But why am I reading this? Like, are we accomplishing anything here? Repeating the obvious? That's how I feel about a TikTok song taking down an easy target like Victoria's Secret, which has been a dying brand for years and trying desperately to change its image. You already won this one. The timing worked out really well for her since there was that documentary that came out around the same time. She says that was coincidence. Maybe if she'd had time to watch it first, she would have found something more interesting to say than this, which sounds like it was assembled from tweets. And I can't think of anything harsher to say than that. Jax says this is about making young girls feel better. It's not about taking down one brand. Okay, well, that's not how it sounds.
Wish somebody would have told me that thighs of thunder meant normal human thighs.
It sounds like a cheap dunk on that one guy that everyone already hates for likes and reblogs and clap emoji replies. The points being made are decades stale. The lyrics are clunky.
Cashing in your body issues, selling skin and bones with big boobs.
No one should rhyme issues with big boobs. But even if this song was written by a smarter, better writer who doesn't make songs based on the goddamn Barney theme, I just don't know how much more of this we need. I realize this isn't aimed at me, so if it's a revelation to you that Victoria isn't a real person, and it helps take the pressure off, then I will feel bad for stepping on that like I always do. I just know it wouldn't help me. Knowing who to blame for all my baggage has never done anything to get it off my back. HBO's Euphoria may be a ridiculous show, but it had the year's single best moment of television, where it nailed the feeling of having to deal with a constant barrage of positivity.
You need to smash all beauty standards. You have to love yourself. You need to find your inner fucking warrior. Love yourself! Love yourself! Love yourself!
I'm going to hear that actress screaming every time I hear a song like this. Good intentions only go so far. And this 2-minute song sounds like Britta from Community going off for 4 hours.
She was made up by a dude.
Again, this is not me defending Victoria's Secret. Two things can suck. Am I right? Retweet if you agree.
She was never made for me and you. A, B, C, D, E, F, U,
Number 4. I didn't tell you to stop. Do it again.
A, B, C, D, E, F, you and your mom and your sister and your job and your broke-ass car.
I have been waiting to have my worst list bumper music also be a worst list entry for so long. At last.
Fuck you and your mom and your sister and your job.
I actually put this as an honorable mention in 2021. I wanted to put it on the main list, but it bubbled up too late in the year and I couldn't rewrite the list in time. Well, let me rectify that right now. This song is awful. It is terrible. And as of a month ago, it is a Grammy nominee for Song of the Year. That almost made me bump it up to number 1. I was so angry. But this song made me pretty angry already. It just has that perfect blend of witless, phony, and irritating that naturally the Grammys nominated it to be hip with the kids.
I swear I meant to mean the best when it ended.
Gail is an 18-year-old singer whose song blew up on TikTok naturally, and the insult that has stuck to her is that she's an industry plant. I try not to use that term. I honestly don't think plant is a very useful criticism. Even for Gail, who's such a plant, she may as well hop around with her feet in a pot of dirt. I admire a well-kept garden. I don't care who planted it. The problem is that it's such an ugly plant.
I was into you, but I'm over it now.
The word has stuck to Gail because the song sounds like it was written by a boardroom, not an 18-year-old girl who had a breakup.
A, B, C, D, E, F, U.
I mean, let's just bluntly state the problem. Telling someone A, B, C, D, E, F, U is so stupid. It's not clever. It's stupid. It's a punchline with no setup. It's what a 5-year-old thinks is funny, except not even that. It doesn't sound like it was written by a teenager. It sounds like it was written by a 30-something with a marketing degree trying to sound like a teenager. Look, I cursed with the alphabet. Let me turn my baseball cap backwards to show you how edgy I am. And the worst part was this was just the peak of a whole mess of terrible songs that use nursery rhymes as a hook.
You love you.
Like that one, yes, but there were more. There were so many more.
Twinkle, twinkle, little bitch. Just another narcissist. Hate
I'm sorry, Gail. I blame you. But the worst hook of the year disguises the fact that the verses are also pretty bad.
dated a girl that I hate for the attention.
They say that writing with more details is good, but the more she added, the less I was convinced. It really sounds like it was all compiled by an AI from other breakup songs. Every teenage girl pop star seems to get their own ripoffs, and the Olivia wannabes might be the worst yet, because Olivia's biggest selling point was her authentic emotion. You can't fake it. And with as little attention as Gail has gotten besides her one bad hit, she's been forced to recycle it over and over. ABCDFU Angrier, ABCDEFU remixes, and of course the immortal I mean, that one's not her fault, but how do you censor the letter F? Like I said, nothing wrong with plants, just plant it better next time.
Everybody but your dog, you can love fuck off.
Thank you for sparing the dog, though. I did appreciate that.
A, B, C, D, E, F, U.
Number 3. This is the worst song of the year. Okay, obviously it's not the worst song of the year. I didn't put it at number 1. And also it's not actually from this year. Like ABCDEFU, it was bubbling up through a big chunk of 2021 before becoming an official hit in 2022, which means it's been bothering me for a lot more than just a year. And another similarity to ABCDFU, it's a negative quality song that inspired a whole lot more negative quality songs.
Bad bitch, I could be a fantasy. I could tell you got big D energy.
We are in a time of ultra lazy sampling not seen since the days of Puff Daddy, and I blame this. I'm not one to complain about samples, but at least come up with new samples. This sample of Genius of Love by the Tom Tom Club has been definitively claimed by Mariah. And you ain't Mariah.
Fuck you in a bunny. I'ma bust it on a pole like honest. I'm just being honest.
For the record, this is a Dr. Luke track. And you know, there's been a lot of debate about whether he should be allowed to make hits. And this song seems designed to make that question much easier. I know he's got those allegations against him, but God, the beats are still really good though, right? Nope! I'm surprised this song has any producer's name on it, since he apparently did nothing. It's the exact same sample, used the exact same way, with no interesting changes, no new takes on it, doesn't even have ODB on it. Even Taco Bell makes more changes when they roll out their next menu item with the same 5 ingredients. But it's not all about the blunt, lazy sample. Let's talk about the obnoxious hook. Big dick energy. Is it 2018? Not that saying big dick energy was acceptable back then, but it's certainly not now. I can't believe we're sitting here listening to a song based off the worst catchphrase of 4 years ago.
lingerie, Dolce, blindfold, tie me to the bed while we roll.
I've told you I struggle with Doja Cat, but seeing so many other rap girls try to do what she does and failing at it miserably has made me really appreciate her abilities. Doja is trying. Lotto seems more bored than anything. And again, much like Abcdefu, it sucked enough that it became the most controversial song of the year. Both Nicki Minaj and Kodak Black have called it out. Those are not necessarily people I want to be on the same side as, but their complaints were about whether it was real hip-hop. I don't actually care about that. I like pop rap. This still sucks. And for the record, Nicki copied this song shamelessly, sampling Super Freak of all things. And it is only out of lingering affection for Nicki's superior skills did it not appear on this list also. I mean, it may have sampled the song that's already the basis for the biggest pop rap song of all time, but at least she sampled different parts of it. Number 2. Oh, country music. You know, I look back on the country songs I've put on the last couple lists and I wonder, like, was I unfair? Like, oh, this song was tacky, this song was wimpy, this song was pandering and cliched. Are those really the worst crimes? Surely we can find someone worse than that. I don't know who Mitchell Tenpenny is, but he sure seems like a real fucking piece of shit. He's had maybe 1.5 country hits over the last 5 years. Not much more than that. Probably because he gives off real skeevy vibes.
Yeah, this town's been telling me I've done some things I never did.
But he crept back into the charts again this year with a new song about how his cunt of an ex is lying about him. And actually, she's the one that cheated on him, damn it.
Yeah, you told your friends, you told your mama that I'm the root of all the drama. But we both know why this ended. Girl, I caught you red-handed.
It is a loaded time to be writing songs accusing women of lying, and I could put it on this list on those grounds alone. Because boy, the video definitely goes there. She lied to the cops. Subtext, who needs it? This is the first country song apparently targeted at Deshaun Watson fans. But hey, we don't have to treat this like a political statement. Sometimes it's just two people in a breakup and it gets ugly. And if someone's lying about you, it's fair to want to fire back, right? I mean, I'm famous in my limited internet kind of way. I see people lying about me all the time, especially you fucking rats in the comment section. So let's just take it what it is. It's a simple breakup song. He's allowed to have hurt feelings about a breakup. So this song is not on the list because he's accusing a woman of lying. It's on the list because he's accusing a woman of lying and he's also obviously a giant chode. Like, if you've ever been between two exes throwing accusations at each other, you know it fucking sucks. It's miserable and ugly. Tenpenny seems to have no idea that no one likes listening to this, so he delivers it with the same soulful Luke Combs country tenor you'd use to sing about loving America in pickup trucks. He wrote a hate song like a love song. So he doesn't seem like the most emotionally aware songwriter in the world, but he's stupid in other ways too.
Yeah, there's two sides to every breakup. One's a lie and one's the truth.
That's not how the saying goes, right? It's three sides to... Oh my god. Maybe if we're really lucky, he meant that as like a joke subversion of the saying. But again, pickup trucks in America type singing. If this man is capable of irony, we will never know. I mean, I doubt it, because it ends with him pleading for some mutual understanding.
Why can't we meet in the middle? Call it even, call it truth.
And then ends with this.
You quit telling lies about me. I won't tell the truth about you.
That's a threat! And he just crooned it out in the same tone of voice as "Can't we meet in the middle?"
Well, I won't tell the truth about.
Like, can we find a way to get along and work things out? Because if you don't, I will fucking end you, you fucking slut! You hear me? I will fucking destroy you! I don't want to take sides, but I think he might be the bad guy here. I mean, let's see if we can get some clue to his character from his back catalog.
Well, I don't deal with bitches no more.
Yeah, I don't know what she's saying about you, dude, but I'm inclined to believe her. She's not the one who wrote this bitter, divorced guy at his custody hearing anthem. This is a man who listened to Dick Down in Dallas and didn't get that it was supposed to be funny. Like I said, I don't know who this 10-penny guy is, but he ain't worth a dime. Fuck him. And before we get to number 1, some honorable mentions. Yeah, you can put Machine Gun Kelly up there with the Chainsmokers as guys I stuck my neck out for and rewarded me for it by making bad music even I couldn't defend. I was still right for the record. I mean, this mostly existed to save Wallen's career by getting a black guy's cosign, so you can't even really judge it as music. Sure hope Dirk got a hefty bonus on top of his normal rate for a feature. What's with the part at the end where Wallen starts honking like a goose?
She likes it when I pour tequila, 'cause she knows that we...
Oh, Russell Dickerson, I will probably get to you someday. Just file him under Mitchell Tenpenny as just like the least talented people in Nashville.
Sometimes all I think about is you.
This is not on the list only because I put it on last year's. But it was even bigger this year than the last, so I would have been more than glad to put it on here again, even higher.
I'm staying alive, I'm staying alive, I'm staying alive.
I am really, really not kidding about how bad the sampling was this year. Like, trust me on this one. And another one of the terrible Olivia wannabes that popped up. And one where the hook was based around the saddest, weakest attempt at a burn since Christina Perri threatened me with a cold.
When you said you loved me, well, you must have had your fingers crossed.
Got him.
Be running up that road. Be running up that hill with no promise.
I do not think I need to add commentary to this. I had a placeholder here for Maroon 5. Did Adam Levine not release anything this year? Except The Awful Sex, which honestly made me just feel bad for him. Really? No Maroon 5 songs. Are we free? Are we finally free? Oh, that feels good. And on that note,
A, B, C, D, E, F, U, H.
number 1. Sometimes the worst song of the year is the one that makes me the angriest. And we've already had several songs that annoyed or offended me, but I found sometimes it's better to just be detached about it. An umpire doesn't get angry at a wild pitch, just calls it and moves on. And that's how I felt when I first heard the song that I would eventually put at the top of the list. Just, the worst song of the year. There it is. I mean, look at me. Do I look angry? I'm not.
I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright, baby.
I'm not enraged. I'm not hurt. I'm just up here like a teacher looking at a 2-sentence essay that a student scribbled down before class. No hard feelings. You just failed. You failed the assignment. See me after class.
'Cause I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright, baby. I'ma have the best fucking night of my life.
Last year, when her second album tanked, Bebe Rexha vowed that she would come back from this failure harder and better than ever, which fits my impression of her. I believe that she is one of the most intense and determined people in music. She wants stardom. She wants it bad, which makes her meager results all the more shocking. Bebe Rexha has only ever been a clip art stock photo of a pop star, a shallow facsimile of the real thing with no fan base identity or memorable songs. And yet here she is, back again, once again swimming in the margins of fame. There is no way she should have gotten another chance, but an unreleased collab with David Guetta that he played live once 5 years ago caught on randomly, giving her 15 minutes of fame a 10-second bonus. And it did the same for Guetta too, I guess. Funny to watch EDM reach its dinosaurs of classic rock stage. In a year of bad samples, this was the lowest. And you might think that's because it's lifted directly from one of the great canonically annoying songs. But you'd be wrong. If anything, this song is not annoying enough. At least Blue Dabba Dee is memorable. If I was told beforehand that there would be a BB Rexa David Guetta song that sampled Blue Dabba Dee by Eiffel 65, I would have already assumed that it would be the laziest song I'd ever hear, and I still would have been stunned by how uncreative it is. I am shocked that this is 5 years old because I would have assumed it was 15. This is a beat that needs to have Akon and Flo Rida on it. I feel like I'm in a time warp. And as for BB Rex's part, I will spit out my drink if these are not literally the first lyrics she thought of. We have the beat to I'm Blue, but what can we put here instead? I'm good.
I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright.
And I'm feeling alright? I can't stand Meghan Trainor, but to me, she'll always be worth 1,000 BB Rexes. The song isn't even that big, and I've only heard it a couple times, but do I ever need to hear it again? No, I'm good.
Don't you know I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright.
I got my head out the sunroof. I'm blasting